Hello everyone. So we have learned about the norma frontalis in the previous video, and in this video we'll be learning about the attachments of norma frontalis, the muscle attachments of norma frontalis. So coming to the attachment of frontal bone, one muscle which is attached to the frontal bone is this muscle. This is the corrugator supercilii muscle. So this muscle arises from the medial part of superciliary arches. So as we all know that superciliary arch is the bony prominence which is present above the supraorbital margin. So the medial part of superciliary arches gives origin to corrugator supercilii muscle. Next is the attachment of nasal bone. So this muscle, it arises from nasal bone in the median plane. This is the procerus muscle. Coming to attachments of maxillary bone. So maximum muscles in norma frontalis are originating from maxillary bone. First is the orbicularis oculi muscle. So this is the orbicularis oculi muscle. The inner part is the palpebral part and the outer fibers are the orbital part of the orbicularis oculi muscle. So this orbital part originates from frontal process of maxillary bone and nasal part of frontal bone. So two bones which give attachment to orbital part of orbicularis oculi muscle, or which gives origin to orbital part of orbicularis oculi muscle, is the frontal process of maxillary bone and the nasal part of frontal bone. And next attachment is the medial palpebral ligament. So this is the medial palpebral ligament, which is again which is attached to the frontal part of maxillary bone, and it is present between the two parts of the orbicularis oculi muscle, the one which originates from the frontal bone and the one which originates from the maxillary bone. Between these two parts there is presence of medial palpebral ligament, and this is the lateral palpebral ligament. The next attachment, muscle attachment of maxillary bone, is the levator labii superioris alignesi. This muscle, this green colored muscle, it originates from the frontal process of maxillary bone on both sides. Next is the levator labii superioris. This is the levator labii superioris muscle. It originates from uh, the surface of maxillary bone between the infraorbital margin and the infraorbital foramen. The infraorbital foramen is present somewhere over here, so it originates from the surface of maxilla between the infraorbital margin and the infraorbital foramen. Coming to next attachment, which is levator anguli oris, it again originates from the surface of maxilla just above the canine fossa. It originates from the canine fossa. So this is levator anguli oris, and this blue colored muscle is levator labii superioris. Then next is nasalis muscle. This originates from the surface of maxilla, which is bordering the nasal notch. So this is the nasalis muscle. This green colored muscle is the nasalis muscle. Next is the depressor septi. So this depressor septi muscle, which it originates from the surface of maxilla below the nasal notch. So this is the muscle, and this is the nasal cartilage. The next attachment of maxillary bone is the incisive muscle. So incisive muscle originates from the surface of maxilla just below the origin of depressor septi muscle. So here the origin of depressor septi muscle, and below that the incisive muscle originates. The incisive muscle, it forms a part of orbicularis oris muscle. So this whole complex is the orbicularis oris muscle, and the incisive muscle, it forms a part of orbicularis oris muscle. Next is the attachment of zygomatic bone. So two muscles which are attached to zygomatic bone, or which originates from zygomatic bone, are zygomaticus major Zygomaticus minor. The zygomaticus minor muscle originates from the surface of zygomatic bone just below the zygomaticofacial foramen, and the zygomaticus major muscle originates lateral to the origin of zygomaticus minor muscle. Then the buccinator muscle, it originates from the maxilla, surface of maxilla opposite the molar teeth, surface of mandible opposite the molar teeth, and the pterygomandibular raphe region. So here is the pterygomandibular raphe region. Buccinator muscle originates from these three parts: the maxilla, the mandible, and pterygomandibular raphe region. And buccinator muscle also takes part in formation of orbicularis oris muscle, or it also uh, forms a part of orbicularis oris muscle. So with this, we come to the end of muscle attachments of norma frontalis, and after that, we'll be learning about norma lateralis. Thank you.